Dave, for 80 minutes, that was a pretty tough watch, but after the last 10 minutes, you must be a little bit disappointed, only to believe him with a point.
Listen, but from our perspective, it wasn't a good performance. But again, you've got to credit the opposition for that in terms of the game that they tried to make it. I'll still look at us and think we've got to be better. But away from home, if you can pick points up, and I tend to look at them in sort of two games away from home. If you can win one and draw one, it isn't the worst. We've gone behind and we've come back and got ourselves a point. So I suppose based on how we've performed, maybe it's all we deserved.
There's always going to be a scrappy game coming here, I suppose. Did you allow yourself to get sucked into that a little bit too much at times?
No, I don't think so. I think that you understand what they're going to do because they're scrapping for their lives, and they'll ask you questions by putting the ball on you and playing in certain areas. For me, in those instances, you have to fight fire with fire a little bit. And we've got to be better with what we do. We knew today would be about winning first balls and winning second balls and having to put in balls into areas for a period of the game until you get a foothold. And in terms of our technique, we did that really poorly. We wanted to, and we knew that, especially after that of a Saturday, our bench would be important today. And we thought that we would get some reward at the back end of the game when using that game, but only when you set the game at an intensity that means the opposition has to work. Because without it sounding disrespectful, I think that on a given day, any team can beat anyone in this league, but with our squad, it is deeper than what theirs is with the injuries they've got at the moment. So we had to use that, but we didn't do it. There was no tempo. We couldn't keep the ball on the pitch. We give cheap fouls away. All the things we'd warned about not doing, and that's on us.
What you don't want, particularly at this stage of the season, is for games to be too heavily influenced by the officials. Two big decisions in the first half. We'll start with a free kick. We saw your reaction down by our dugout. What do you make of it?
Unfortunately, that's the position we're in, aren't we? And every single club in this division will work really hard to achieve what they want to achieve. But someone's going to get relegated based on a refereeing decision, and someone's going to get promoted based on a refereeing decision. And there's 4 of them there that can make a choice, that can see. One of them clearly can't see. Maybe he's too close, I'm not too sure, but the other 3 can, and I'll go and see him in a minute. But they seem to get a corner right in that corner when the linesman, this pitch is a big pitch, he's 65 yards away, he makes a decision and gives a goal kick, which is the correct decision, yet he's 30 yards away and can't, or isn't brave enough to tell the referee he's got it wrong, and that ultimately costs us a goal. So again, with referees, I'm not going to bash him all the time, but the key thing is that they don't affect the outcome of the game, and he's done that directly tonight. And he can say sorry all he wants. That, again, we're at a point where, whether it's Kev over there or elsewhere, our jobs and careers are on the line, and we'll get a sorry, no doubt. I'll get a sorry in there. There's no consequence to it, and there needs to be better. And this isn't just at this level. This is at every level of the game. I get it's difficult, but whether it be someone stood down here, if you can't see from me, go sit in the stand, because that's a glaring mistake that resulted in us going 1-0 down. He'll be able to have arguments over that one. Again, I would describe that as really soft in terms of the goal. But that's a big mistake. No, it's not a big mistake. It's completely wrong, the decision he's given, and that's put us behind. And when you come in somewhere where they want to get the crowd in the game, but they want some impetus, they want to get themselves in front and give themselves something to protect, so they can manage the game as best they can and try and run down the clock. That's the last thing you need, and he's made a direct influence on that.
You did keep going, got yourself level, and 2 moments of quality, I suppose. The ball in from Ryan Rydell, then the header from Benno, even better than his one on Saturday, really.
Yeah, and that's where I suppose I'm looking at us. We let ourselves down with that quality throughout the game. Never mind the first half. Throughout the game, quality from wide areas. You look at what we have on the pitch. Again, if we're crossing the ball from one side and they've got, Sam Hoskins is a real threat in terms of the top end of the pitch. But when he's played at right wing back and having to defend the far post, if we're on the ball's on our right hand side, for us not to make him defend is down to us. They've had to go in with two wide centre backs that aren't wide centre backs, that are pretty small. And with what we've got on the pitch, I think we have to dominate them duels. We didn't dominate them duels, which meant we couldn't get up the pitch and we couldn't provide any quality. So that's something that I say that we're going to solely look at ourselves about.
Is the temptation there now to start Benno in games, or does there need to be a bit more patience with that?
No, he's not ready to start games yet. I suppose maybe a little bit different tonight, because we've probably got some lads that I knew would be on the brink, if you like, towards the back end of the game, and we probably had 6 that I envisaged would be a risk if they played the full 90 minutes, hence why we started as we did. And you can't make 6 subs, so if only you could. We knew that one of them would have to go the full 90 minutes, and you have to then take, I suppose, decisions based on what the game looks like. So hopefully no one comes out of it with any issue, but we knew that we'd have to be a little bit careful with some tonight. What we have done though is I say hopefully got through, and now we look at Saturdays, so we give people more time to recover. So again, we've got an international break coming up, where we're not sure whether Benno will be with us or whether he'll be away. So from my perspective, there'll be a decision to make there. He's nowhere near ready for 90 minutes. So I suppose our decision then comes: do we start him when teams are fresh, or do we use him from the bench when teams are flagging a little bit and we can get higher up the pitch and we can deliver with quality? Because if we deliver with quality, then he'll put himself in areas to score. Again, the biggest surprise for me tonight was the other one that he got, where he flashed and sort of snatched at it. That's against him normally in terms of how he is. That would have been no surprise if that had nestled in the top corner, but it didn't. And again, did I think we deserve the point? I don't think either team really can have a real good case to say they deserve to win the game. I'm always going to feel hard done by, because I suppose the goal that we've conceded directly affected by somebody that shouldn't be affecting the game.
Well, it's just one defeat in the last 10 games now. You do keep that run ticking on. I guess that's really important now, to keep a little bit of momentum going into what is 3 really big, potentially season-defining games. Regardless of what happens over the next remaining games of the season, you'll lose some games, aren't you? And then all of a sudden it becomes how you react to those disappointments, how you react to the going behind, which we've done again today and we've come back from. So momentum at times can be important, but as I said earlier, in any given day, in any given game in League One, any team can beat anyone. So if we were to not win a game, then the next game will come along and I'd fancy us to be able to win. Of course, we've spoken about games that are between teams that are in and around at the top end of the division or the bottom end of the division. Will always, I suppose, the perception will carry a little bit more importance. So we've got 3 of them coming up, so we'll look forward to them. I'm sure, like I said, the teams that we're coming up against will quite rightly fancy themselves to win, but just as we do. So important, like I say, we recover, prepare for Saturday, which will be a tough game. We're at home, and we want to back up what we've done. And as with everything, if you draw the game and win the next one, all of a sudden that draw doesn't seem as half as bad. Appreciate your time, Dave. Thank you.
Welcome. Cheers. Thank you.